Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle, big shit.
Check it. It's a unique hustle. It's your boy ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
Nothing, I'm Adele. Walk on. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us from all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. You name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But y'all see us on the streets and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep up the good work. How can we be a part of Boss Talk? Under each and every interview, including this one right here in the description section below, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions, and that's how you can see all the exclusive content that y'all been asking us. Where's this interview? Where's that interview? You got to be a member to see it. Sign up now. Thank you in advance, and we love you.
Man, I got a guy in here today, y'all. He don't need no introduction, man. I was so excited when I got to looking at his information, man, and just seeing his journey, bro. And I got super excited as I kept on looking at the stuff he's been able to achieve. You know what I mean? And the things that he's been through, so he can give us his testimony of what all the things he's made it through. See, he win because he's still here. My boy Running Bo is in the building.
Man, good greeting. Appreciation.
Let's get to it, Miss Jamaica. We got to take him down through that like we do.
So you're born and raised in Milwaukee.
Yeah, speaking of Milwaukee, though, I don't want to, like, say I'm celebrating this dude, but Jeffrey Dahmer was from Milwaukee.
Wow.
And I stayed a block away from Jeffrey Dahmer. You know what I'm saying? Around the time he was, chopping folks up and killing, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And people never talk about this, but Ken, because he from Milwaukee too, but the street, that I'm talking about, the street name is Kilbourne.
Wow.
Yeah, K-I-L-L. So I be thinking that's probably like, they planted him right there to do that to our people or something. I be thinking like that, though.
No, you
my
got
mind
to.
just go places sometimes, but
You got to.
I just thought that I would mention that.
Wow.
Wow, one street over from him. So did you know people who actually knew him and like?
Yeah, he almost got my uncle. My mama always tell me this story about Jeffrey Dahmer, especially when his like movie or whatever came out like a couple years ago. Yeah, he almost got my uncle, but not that I wish he had her. I just don't like nothing against the LGBT community or nothing like that.
Okay.
It's just like as a man who respect manhood, like I don't like. Why would you be with dude? You know what I mean? Like if you was hanging with him, then whatever happened to you probably should have happened to you.
Wow.
So how did he escape? Did you hear the story? How did he escape from him?
He didn't take the drink. He was already drinking, so he told him like, man, I done had enough already. But the drink was how he'd get people, because he'd put stuff in the drink and it'd just put you out. So once he know it hit you, that's when he'd pull out them weapons and he got you. And you can't really defend yourself. You know what I mean? So
wow.
he didn't take the drink, so that's probably why he wasn't able to get him.
That's crazy. So what was it like? So you were raised in a household with your mom and your dad in the same household, or just your mom?
No, well,
Growing up.
my dad, he left when I was like, I think 8 years old, but I could remember like at least 4 years of them staying together before that. But after he left, then he wasn't in my life like that no more. So since I was 8, I ain't had no father.
So he didn't come back and visit? None of that?
It'd be rare, like say Christmas, he might pop up on Christmas with a few toys or something. But it'd be just only that.
Wow. Well, when he left and didn't come back, were you one of those kids that, because I always hear kids say this, they felt like it was their fault? Why?
No, I knew I ain't do nothing. Me and him was so close, like I was really hurt when my dad left, because he was the closest person in my life at the time. So I knew it wasn't that, but no disrespect to my mama, but I know my mama crazy too. I used to see like some people grew up seeing they dad beat their mama, but it was the other way around. Like I used to see her, she'd throw a glass plate at his face or something. I'd be like, damn, Mom, like what type of time you on? Mom, chill.
Right.
We ain't on that type of, and then I'd be worried for him. Like my son to this day, he know I got a girlfriend that's a lawyer now. He happy for me, he proud of me, because he felt like his mama wasn't right for me. He used to tell me then when he was that little, like, man,
That
she be
young.
tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, man, I see what you go through. She be tripping. So I was like the same way. So I never felt like, I never blamed him. I felt like it was good he got out that situation because my mama probably would have killed him or anything, you know.
But did
Yeah,
your dad sit you down and tell you that he was leaving, or he just one day you woke up and he wasn't there no more?
Yeah, I was always observant. So I like, even as a kid, I saw that their situation was beginning to crumble. So when it crumbled, it wasn't even no surprise. Like, I was kind of like glad that he ain't come back because she
Right.
would be on that with him all the time. So it's like, that saved me. Well, at the time, I feel like it saved me a little peace because as a kid, all that trauma going on in a household, it fuck with you mentally and emotionally, you know, and it'll scar you. So I felt like it was good that he didn't come back.
I hear parents say that, and I hear some kids say that. But then also, I feel like it does affect, especially a young boy, when the absence of a father. So you know what I mean? Although you have that conflict with the mom and dad, I think, how did the absence, him being gone, affect you though?
Because he was the closest person in my life and he was my father. So I looked up to him. Like, I think all boys look up to their fathers.
Right.
So when he left, like, I think it was best for me too, even though I started selling drugs when I was 11, like 3 years after that.
3 years, okay.
And I started going to jail. I feel like had I not went through that though, I wouldn't be the man I am now.
Exactly.
I don't think none of the men in my family would have been able to raise me as the type of man I am now because they never really became great. Not to talk about them again, I'm an honest person, you know what I mean? Like, one of my uncles, he stayed with his mama his whole life and he 50. He never lived with no girlfriend, nobody else or nothing. So, like, after my dad, like, who else gonna raise me? Him? Like, then I'd have been like him. Like, no, I don't, you know, I'm glad I went through what I went through, even though it was traumatic. But it made me a great understanding person. So I could see other people's pain. I could relate to any situation because I've been through a lot of pain and a lot of crazy situations.
What was your dad's occupation? Do you know?
He worked at some factory called like Johnson Control or something.
Okay.
When you was, I lost my daddy left when I was 9, but he came back and picked us up.
He came back.
You know, he'd come back every now and then and get us. Not every weekend, but a lot of them.
That was 100. Not to cut you off, bro. Not to get me wrong. It's crazy because we fast forward today, and this happened within the last 3 years. My mama and my dad like best friends now.
Wow.
And I'm closer to both of them now. Like, I was never this close to neither one of them. And this happened within the last 3 years. So it's like, I'm not the type of person that like talk about, you know, how bad my childhood was and try to make my mom or dad feel bad. Like, I love them today. You know what I'm saying?
For
like,
sure.
Even through all that, I never lost love for them. I felt like they wasn't being effective parents at the time, but now it's like, I think our relationship better than it could have ever been. It's crazy. And this just happened. I just got out the feds like 3 years, and that's around the time it all happened.
I want to go ahead.
No, I like to talk about a journey because, you know, we all go through a journey and we all grow up from, you know, younger because our mental state grows as we get older. That's why I always like to take people through that. But what happened when you came out? Why you reconnected? What was it that caused that reconnection?
I don't know. They got cool while I was in the feds, but it had just happened because when I got out, my mama was telling me, like, I've been talking to your dad. And at the time, I was still kind of, I don't want to say funny acting, but I'd be like, you talking about your baby daddy, you know what I mean? Ronnie, you know what I mean? But then me and him got closer, you know what I'm saying? I love our bond, the bond we got now.
Once you sat down and spoke to him face to face.
Like some kids grow up, they don't have the type of heart they could forget their parents for certain situations, but I understand.
That's
you know
huge,
what I mean?
man. I love it, bro. That's dope. That's forgiveness is something else, man. And you have the grace to say, hey, man, I'm cool with what happened. I forgive you for all that. You release them from the situation too. That's a releasing technique, right? Yeah. So you're not holding them to a situation. If his anger would have lashed out, it would have made their relationship still, vulnerable, to be honest with you. But because he received it the way he did, it makes them bond together more. You know what I mean?
But not only that, when he said earlier that he was in the same situation with his baby mom, so it's almost like he
broke the curse.
You understood what your dad went through. Yes, you saw it as a child and you knew that he needed to go, but now you were in that situation and you were that man like how your dad was, so you understood why he had to go.
Yeah, at that time, most definitely, like, it was affecting me and my brother. Rest in peace, my brother. He got killed a while back, but
rest in peace.
It was affecting us both because it got to the point like we could be playing a game or having fun, and then from out of nowhere it go an outbreak. Somebody throwing something, she yelling. It's like, oh no, not again. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes the yelling will be directed towards us. So
yeah, I want to ask you about 11. I want to go back to that 11-year-old that grabbed that sack. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you end up? Because I know how mine happened, but how did yours happen? For us, how did you connect with the drugs? Like, was it somebody introduced you to it on the block? Because usually the village will raise you. When you mama at work, you at home, you figure something else out to do at
your
11.
Friends.
How did it happen?
Well, first off, shout out to my mama. Like, Ma, I know when you see this shit, I don't want to hear you think I think you was a bad mama. I'm happy how you raised me, Ma. Is not that, but I understood like she was a young mother at the time, and as a young mother, she wasn't ready to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of mother she probably should have been, or how all mothers should be. You know what I'm saying? Because she young and she still want to party, have fun. So, and she had a job, so she wasn't at the house with us that much. And then the older dope boys who was like 15, 16, who was already selling dope, they know that I had the crib to myself, me and my other brother. Yeah. So they'd be like, man, could we come up there and bag this up? Well, I'll pay you $20. $20, like, yeah, nigga, of course.
Let's get this done.
And that was like every day, so I started making like $20 off them every day.
That's good.
And then it went from letting them bag up to like, man, let me do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
let me bag it up. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, just give me another $5 or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm learning just off them.
Yeah.
They'd be in there cooking it and everything.
Wow.
So I was already learning. Then I'm seeing how much money they make. Even though I was 11, it's like, man, they going to school with Jordans and they Tommy Hilfiger stuff people was wearing back then, and I'm wearing Kmart clothes. Like, I got it. Like, they ain't that much older than me, so it's like shit. So what I started doing, I told this story in my book because I'm a book author.
Yeah,
too.
for sure. I already gonna bring that up. I looked it up.
But yeah, so I started stealing like not that much. Say they want me to bag up a half ounce. Back then, you could bag up like. You know people were squeezing. I don't know how y'all was doing it out here.
Well, we basically you could bag it up, and when you bag it up, you can take a little off there. It might not come all the way back.
They was squeezing a G-sack out of a half ounce.
Yeah.
So if I take 5 out of 100 rocks or something, they don't know because they usually bagging up around this amount anyway.
That's
probably
right.
From 80 to 100, like somewhere up in here.
Yeah.
So if it's 95 or even 85, they ain't tripping. You know what I mean? They thinking like this little bro, he ain't. So I realized one day, like, damn, I got over $1,000 worth of rocks. You know what I'm saying? Just from pinching off them.
Yeah.
And I was 11, and it's like,
it's up now.
I'm seeing who they serve to. So when I see these certain people, I'm finna go, hey, look.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? He told me he ain't out here right now. He told me do it, and they start going for it. You know what I mean?
11 years old.
Yeah.
And it was cool on the block. Nobody tried to mess with you nothing. Because usually the dope fiend, the dope head, they didn't really trip. You could control. They wasn't really aggressive like that. Not mine. I don't know about you, but they wasn't tripping on. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted what they want. If it was good business going down, they didn't mess with you.
Speaking on that, bro, like my brother who got killed was 2 years older than me, right?
Wow.
So around the time I was selling dope, he wasn't. I was 11, he was like 13. And our mama, I think, you know, as an 80s baby or people who grew up in that era, like mostly the parents, like, not to look down on my mama, like these days you got 19-year-olds popping Percocets.
That's right.
Dope fiend.
That's
out.
right.
And some of them be fake Percocet. So back in my days though, like our parents was like we like crack baby, so they was smoking crack.
That's right.
So my brother woke me up one morning, like 2, 3 in the morning, like, bro, she got $20 talking about our mama. I'm like, bro, what is you talking about? I'm not finna tell her I got this. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you tripping.
He wanted
like,
to serve her.
He telling me, yeah, like, man, just
serve your mom.
give it to me, like, I'll do it. I'm like, bro, that's our mama, bro. And it was crazy. We so young, he say something so real that resonated me. He like, bro, if she don't buy it from you, she gonna go down the street and get it from what's the name or this person, so she gonna get it anyway. You might as well get the money. Wow. I'm thinking like,
damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
so you end up serving her?
Yeah, but it was hard for me because I still was saying no. Like he basically told on me, but she telling me like, boy, get your ass up. I know you got it. I ain't mad at you. Just give me the shit, cause I finna go get it anyway. Like he.
Oh,
saying,
so she
like,
heard. So she knew that you was doing
like,
it.
Get your ass up. Just
Wow.
give it to me. I'm like, man, like I gotta go to school in the morning. Like, man, you tripping? Like I don't got nothing like that. What is you talking about?
Yeah.
And he right there like vouching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He urging it on.
So I did it, but I did it out of anger because for one, I didn't want to serve my mama.
Wow.
And then it's like I'm mad at him because it's like, bro, why would you tell her on me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But if, I mean,
how often did that happen?
Man, often, but it got to the point, like especially like as I started to grow and mature, I didn't care how much money she had. I couldn't serve my mama that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You cut her off?
Yeah.
Was she mad at you?
No, I think she understood. Yeah.
Yeah, she understood.
She understood, and to this day, like, salute you, Mosh, because she been clean for
that's amazing.
like 20 years. You know
that's dope, man.
That's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's what it take, man. But that's what I'm saying. That's how you forgive. You see the growth. You see that you can respect that because you know where she come from, and for her to change like that, that's extraordinary.
And how hard it must have been because there's so many people out here who are still stuck on it, and it's hard to come off.
I went to my hometown, same people pulling up. I'm like, they still doing that? It messed me up. I'm like, that's 30 years ago. Still doing it, bro. I'm not playing. I know you probably see the same thing. Like, this nigga's still out here.
Some of them done converted over to the dog food though and other stuff.
Yeah, but for the most part, if you know you got it, they coming on with it. You know what I'm saying?
So when you pinched off a piece and you went out here and you lied and you sold your first one, how did you know how much to sell it for?
I was around them.
He seen it all the time.
Because what's so crazy though, like bro picked me up I had him meet me in my hood when he came and got me. Mm-hmm. So where I'm from is 10th Street. Like our block was called Dime Bag. So our block was known for dime bags. Like we sold, like I'm talking about, you had hustlers like me who would have a brick or maybe two, but you would dime up everything.
Yeah.
So that's what we was known for.
That's rolling.
Was that a lot? Or
hell yeah, that's a lot. Cause now you quadrupling and you doing amazing thing with profit growth. You know what I'm saying?
Like we was so tight, we wouldn't sell nobody a bar. Like, and when I took over the hood, now I started serving everybody because it was like, it's like okay, I could get all their money and still serve all my clientels, and it's like, as I'm getting their money, I'm re-ing up quicker. So my plug satisfied. I'm buying this shit every day or every other day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A lot of it.
No, it's going.
Looking like damn, little dog.
He like you moving fast, like they start counting your money because they can't understand how you moving so fast.
How long did it take you to move to start taking everything over?
Well, see, growing up how I grew up, like I was like one of the crazy bad kids, so that probably instilled fear in my peers and stuff, even like the OGs, cause like they weren't even shooting people. You know what I'm saying? Like I shot somebody first time when I was like 11.
No,
You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, and they knew this. This what I was known for in my neighborhood by the OGs. So it's like they already grew. And for the ones who it wasn't fear, I don't even want to use fear because then they gonna feel like hoe ass niggas.
Yeah,
But respect.
Yeah.
At least respect.
Yeah.
So I established respect as at back then. Like I had my own gang at 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Like no bullshit. Like 10 other kids, and they willing to do wherever I want to do.
Wow.
So growing up like that is like, by the time I got 15, 16, like I was a boss in the hood.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
But what's so crazy, bro? Like God is my witness. I don't glorify that shit. Like I look at it now, like the dope game is a childish hustle for me because I was doing that shit when I was a child.
That's right.
So for now, for me to look at it like I don't want to say I'm a street nigga because that'll sound like I'm still doing shit. But when you come from that, like all your friends mostly is still street niggas. Most people still involved. So it's so easy to get tempted. You know, I could go, bro, just give me a brick and I could start there.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like no, I was doing that shit and getting locked
When I
up
was a
for it
kid.
since I was a kid. Like I gotta do something different.
Yeah, and you got kids now. So when you think about just 11 years old, where did you get? What was your choice? What you have 38? Was you a 380 baby? What did you? What kind of weapon did you have?
That's crazy because I swear to God I had a 38 back then.
That's what that age, man.
How did you know that?
No, because that's what we had. I'm just go by time limits and and age, and that's the feel of the gun. Because I had 380s, I had 38s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I bought 9s, but it wasn't as frequent. We were the Uzi kids back when I was a kid. You get a Uzi or a Mac 10. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so basically, when you had it, it was for you basically because of your job, because of you having the bread too, right? Because you having bread, you got to have protection.
Yeah.
And you set up like this at 11, 12, 13, you want to make sure you nobody don't try you. Right.
It was crazy though. I used to collect guns though, so I actually had an AR-15 back then too.
You had an AR-15?
That's probably why another reason why I could see why people probably would be afraid is it's like we already know this little nigga done shot somebody. Now he got that big ass gun, and then he just be walking around the hood with it sometimes, like. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was like
that's good stuff, man. Cause I know the hood boys, man. What year was that? If you don't mind me asking.
Bro, this was in the 90s. I'm
that's
38
it.
now.
Yeah, that was in the 90s.
Yeah.
The late 90s.
Yeah, late 90s.
Wow.
So 99, I was 13, so 11, 87. Well, 97.
97, 90, 96, yeah.
But looking back, okay, I know you said that you had to go through what you had to go through to make you into the person that you are today. But looking back on your life, do you see where you could have made other choices and still excel into a great person?
No, I probably could have, but I think that this is the path that God wanted me to go
come
through.
on, man.
Because like God want to reach out to people who come from that lifestyle, and like who better to do it than me or him or Pimpin' Ken.
That's
you know what
real.
I'm saying? Like we been through it, so even if we not into it now, we understand. You know what I mean? So I think God wanted me to go through that, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have been able to write the books I wrote. I wouldn't be as eloquent as I am, because during that time, like Pimpin' Ken, like he told you earlier, like some of them bids, like I was able to call him. He was there. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
And it'd be like people would look at Pimpin' Ken as a pimp, because that's how he branded, I guess. But he's so much deeper than that.
Man, he
bro.
way deeper than that.
Like when I was calling him from jail, I was calling him like, bro, what book should I read next? You know what I mean? And he was telling me books like Dr. Naeem Akbar, African Psychology, Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery. So this is the type of shit I'm reading. So I'm learning about our culture and our history, and I was still young then, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, like.
Man, that's so live, man. I love that, man, because people don't realize, man, that's why I don't go by what nobody think. I go by the heart, man. I try to look at people. I don't care what you done. I don't care what you've been through. I love what you just said. That's your testimony. And how you gonna help somebody if you ain't been through these situations? Yeah. For you to been on that block for all them years, man, and then from a kid, that's why when the man, I read the Bible a lot. So Mark chapter 5, we talk about the legion, the man that had many demons. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when he got healed, he came and the people, he used to cut himself in the mountains and in the tombs, and he got himself together. And because he met Jesus, okay? And when he got himself together, everybody, he wanted to go with Jesus. But Jesus said, nah, you can't go with me. He wanted him to stay in the Decapolis, which was the 10 surrounding cities. And he did that for a reason, to be an example to everybody, for people to see the power of God, man. And that's so dope, bruh. And that's why people can't really just judge books by the cover, because you never know what you're dealing with, man. So I don't go by what people think about, man.
Shout out to Jesus, bro, because you know one thing, like being in jail, I don't know how everybody else did their time. You know what I mean? But me, I read, studied stuff like man. That, and I studied every religion you could think about.
Me too.
That's how deep I was into God. Like, I want to know God. I want the type of person who because my family was Christians, I'm gonna judge the Muslims or the Hindus or the Buddhists.
I read all that.
The Muslims.
Me and you so much alike. That's the same thing I did.
But what's crazy though, like boiling everything back down to it, studying all these other prophets or messiahs or whatever they want to call them, like Jesus was the truth.
Who he sound like?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I say. That
Jesus
is crazy.
For real,
because you're looking at the characters and the way that it make you so dope, because you can see people's character a mile away. That's why I tell you a lot of times I can read people so easy, because I've studied characterism so much when it come to reading books.
That's what I just told you earlier when I said, bro, I could tell you a man of God.
Yeah.
If you wasn't, I wouldn't be this friendly with
That's
you.
Right.
You know
That's right.
I could just tell.
You can
by the
tell.
vibe. Yeah.
And we have to learn quickly, because when you locked up, you so many people coming around that you don't know what these people done. Your life on the line.
Yeah.
Am I right? So you learn to assess people so quick. You can tell real quick like what a person about. So I see a lot of people over the 20 years come through that door, and especially when we've been doing this podcast, I can tell right off if I'm not, if it's not I know, I tell you that all the time. I never say nothing about it, but I know already.
Yeah.
But I tell them, I'm gonna get to you, and I'm gonna give you the message that God give me to give you. I don't care what happened in the midst of it, but I'm gonna give you what you come here for. You know what I mean? So thank you for coming on the show, man. You're a delight, bro. Like you helping me out a lot. It's probably my better interviews, and I do a lot of them. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I just want to go back to the fact of when you went to Juvenile. You went to Juvenile. How many times do you go to Juvenile between 11 and 18?
Like 5, but I don't know if you've been through that, but they usually be lenient after Juvenile.
Yeah.
Like my first case was shooting up one of my guys' house, because he had a cell phone. He sold me. He told me it was like, it was minutes then. He told me it was like 80 minutes or something, and I had made one call and it was through. Then he was playing, so it's like, first we get into a fight. He didn't like how that went, so he sent his grown ass stepdad to where I'm staying at with my mama with a gun. So I'm in there. I ain't even had no gun with me, but I'm so mad. Like, okay, if they don't do nothing when they leave, I know where to go get a gun from. So that's what I did. I went to go got a gun, and I came. They ain't answered the door, so I just shot that shit up.
Wow.
And it was crazy though. Like, that could have been a serious case, which it was technically, but I stood solid to the point they came with a plea. They couldn't prove I shot it up. All they could prove, they said they had fingerprints on a gun. So it's like, okay, that's possession of a gun. I pleaded that.
Yeah.
I ain't finna plead to shooting that shit up.
so how long did you do on that bid?
They had me on bracelet for 90 days.
90 days.
A year on paper.
Yeah,
and then I ended up catching a dope case like 60 days after that.
Wow.
After that incident.
Wow.
And then how long did you get for that one?
I was in a group home for like 2 years. And then I kept going back like for petty shit in the group home, but then I caught another dope case, and then I was 16 by then, and my max was time 18. That's how I go in the juvenile system if they don't waive. So I'm like, time 18, I'm already 16. Like, come on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all y'all can do. I plead it. You know what I mean?
So when did you? I know you went to prison after you got older. How old was you when you first went to prison?
To adult?
Yeah.
18.
18. You went straight on.
So
into,
as soon as you became 18.
Yeah. I got out. I actually got out like a month before my 18th birthday, and then like 6 months after I was out, while I was 18, I caught another dope.
You had a reputation.
And then I did 3 years that time.
What's the difference to you between when you went to
juvie
compared to adult prison?
What's crazy, juvenile was way more gangster than adult
I keep
prison.
hearing that.
Like, I don't know if because
Tell me
everybody was young and didn't care and everybody had this energy, but like me and Ken was just talking about that earlier too. Like it was this place called Wells where they sent us do our time, and that was, they called it like gladiator school, because that every day people fight.
For sure.
Bragging about they fights. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
Like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
And that's in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So going from that to adult, it's like this adult shit soft because everybody
Chilling.
Yeah, they don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? You still stuff go down, but it's like as a juvenile, people looking for smoke. They want to, you know what I'm saying, make a name off themselves. They want to fight. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like that. So even the feds was like, other people have bad experience because of what they probably did. But my experience in the feds was cool because my paperwork was solid.
Yeah.
And then people seeing me study the law every day, like actually fighting my case.
Yeah.
Not depending on lawyers helping other people. Like, bro,
That's dope.
This might not apply to my case, but this sound like it apply to your shit, don't it? So, you know what I mean? So I was cool with everybody, like all the gang leaders or.
I want to jump into your time with R. Kelly, being locked up with him, and just how that was. You know, like when you first seen him.
See, when I first saw him, I already knew he was in the building, but when I first heard he was in the building, I'm thinking people playing and shit, because niggas was joking about everything all day. Like, you had El Chapo cartel in there, and people would be making jokes like, yeah, he said he gonna give me 1,000 bricks when I get out, and you know, so people was just saying shit. So when they like R. Kelly in here, it's like, here these niggas go again. But I kept hearing it, so I'm like, dude, really in here? And they like, yeah, bro, you ain't seen the news? Like, yeah, we in MCC Chicago. That's where he at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was in protective custody at first, so I had already been a book author, so the first thing I'm thinking, like, I done saw this surviving R. Kelly shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to hear his side of the story, and I want to be the one to tell it. That was my thing.
That's dope.
And with me being cool with all the gang leaders and everything like that, it's like I want no shot caller. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a humble person, and I'm gonna be real and honest. Like, I'm indicted in Chicago. I'm from Milwaukee. I'm the only person in here from Milwaukee.
Wow.
I'm solid, so they love me and respect me. But it's people already in place. Like, it's somebody already running the GDs here, running the Vice Lords, the Latin Kings. But I'm cool with everybody who so-called leaders or shot callers or whatever. And you got to respect the gang politics. Like, rats or pedophiles not supposed to be on general population with us.
That's right.
However, we in a pre-trial federal facility. So it's like, bro, he ain't got found guilty yet. We don't know if he did that. Like, they did this to Tupac, they did it to Mike Tyson, they did it to Kobe Bryant,
That's right.
They did it to Bill Cosby. Like,
They did it to everybody.
yeah, so it's like, how we gonna say, did he a pedophile? We don't even know if he did it.
That's right.
And so everybody, you got a point, and it's like, bro, look, I'm a book author. I just want him on general population, really, because I want to try to see if he'll let me write a book on his side of the story. And everybody who helped me with this shit, if he signed a contract, I'm likely gonna make some money. Like, I'll break bread with everybody. So
That's real.
it's like, damn, Bo really serious about this. So they let the population know that he would be safe on general population, and from there he put the paperwork in with his lawyer, and they got him on general population like within less than 30 days.
What did you say to him?
The first time I saw him, I had just got a letter from my girlfriend, and it's crazy because she had saw on the news that he was in MCC Chicago.
Wow.
So she knew he was there. Before I even came to the realization, like, they ain't playing, he really in here. So she had wrote me a letter like, tell R. Kelly I love him when you see him. no, weird though. So by the time I actually saw him, like, we got called to the medical unit at the same time, like around the same time. So I'm down there already. I see him get off the elevator. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, that's just nigga
R.
right
Kelly
here.
in this motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, that's him. That's him.
No, but it's like the first thing I thought about was with, shout out to Kayla, what she said. So that's the first thing I said. I'm like, bro, my girl wrote me the other day and said, tell you she love you when I see you, bro.
Wow.
So he got to laughing like, bro, tell her I love her too. And then it's like, you know who I am, right? Like, I'm basically one of the guys who orchestrated you to be on general population. And then it like, oh,
That's
yeah.
when it clicked.
Yeah, so we was cool from that point, but we weren't on the same unit yet. He was on unit 19 at the time, and I was on unit 15.
So did you, after that, I know you didn't get to write your book about him, did you? Or
No, I did, but not to the standard
extent that you wanted to. Did you have enough time?
I wanted to base the book on him.
Okay.
And his story. So, yes, I put out books since then where I tell the stories that I'm able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But
it wasn't the extent that you wanted. Did you wanted a deeper extent?
Yeah, like some things like I learned too. Like Jaguar, right? Me and her end up getting close through all this. So she taught me to say allegedly.
Of course.
So yeah, so I learned that. But it's a lot of things that me and him talked about that I haven't spoke about on the podcast yet or haven't wrote about yet. And that's just because I still got love and respect for R. Kelly. Like, despite what other people think about him, like, I met him, I was in the same building with him for 21 months. I was on the same unit with him for at least 30 days before they tried to say I was trying to extort him into a contract. So I got to really know this dude. And then a lot of that time that we in there together was during the COVID pandemic. So at this time, I know y'all people. I'm hearing y'all thought the world was coming to an end too, right? But that's what we thought for real up in there. So at this time, he looking at me like, dude, act like he got an outlet to tell my story. Like I could die. He thought he was gonna die in there for real. Like he was panicking and any little thing come up. He got an infection in his toe. He making a big deal. I could catch gangrene. Like he tripping up in there. So. Like, it got to the point, like, inmates got so, like, compassionate with each other because it's like, damn, they cut us off from the world. None of us could call our girlfriend, our mama.
Yeah, it was like
nobody.
That. It was
we can't
like
even
that.
call our lawyer. And then sometimes they want to feed us in there, like, so we thinking, like, damn, they miss a meal? Like, this getting crazy.
It's getting real crazy.
So it's like we started bonding. That made us bond together, not just me and Kills, but all the inmates
unified.
Like, bro, we got to stick together through this. Like, you might die today. He might die. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to, and they don't care, obviously. So,
and R. Kelly was tripping. I know he was tripping.
Did you have a lot of people dying in there from COVID?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why it was like, damn, we don't know this disease. This is a new disease, and we hearing like not just the amount of people that died in there was a small amount to what we hearing on the radio, and when we hear like 4,000 people died in just this one city off this shit.
That was happening.
Like, what?
It's crazy out there.
Yeah. So.
Did you, when R. Kelly basically, when y'all was dealing with his situation, did you to this day, do you feel like he was done wrong, or was he justified in being locked up the way he was?
No, I definitely don't think justice was served, and not to like I ain't gonna like I had a daughter 2 years ago. But
I got
that
two.
was my first time being able to say I got a daughter. So I was thinking totally different around the time I was kicking it with kids. You know what I mean? So I could see as a parent, you know what I'm saying, somebody who got a daughter, I could see how they would look at him based on the allegations. But we also got to keep it 100 with like the culture back then. like I know what I was seeing. You know what I'm saying? When I was 14, and the 14-year-old girls I was dating or fucking or they was fucking the 25-year-old dudes.
Yeah, they was going all the way up.
30-year-old dudes picking them up from school, and I'm finding out like, dude,
yeah,
I thought that was her uncle. Like he fucking her too. You know what I'm saying? So this was going on, and then when you look at scenes like in Belly with DMX, it's a whole scene where the 30-year-old man, and he got a sex scene with a 16-year-old girl. That's so that was showing that this was culturally accepted at the time, despite how people look at it now. So it's like, not that he get a pass for doing no pedophile shit, but it's like, okay, his thing was basically like, bro, that's not why I'm in here. If that's why I'm in here, why they ain't got Jay-Z? You know what I mean? Wow. Like that's what he was explaining. Like that's how Jay-Z got tied into all this.
So he would say that.
Yeah.
He like, why? Yeah, because
or other names, like, you know what I mean.
No, it was a bunch of them.
The only one. So
from Elvis Presley to a lot of different.
That was his thing. Like if that's what y'all want to say, that's why I'm in here. Okay, if that's the case, then why Jay-Z ain't like that? He was doing the same shit. Like y'all wanna, if y'all don't know he was doing it, y'all at least know about the Foxy Brown incident. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like he had a valid point. You know what I mean?
And when you look at, did he have ill will? He didn't have ill will. He was just explaining. He was doing a valid point thing. It wasn't.
No, he did have a situation.
Really?
With Jay-Z. Like,
what was the deal with him and Jay?
He felt like Jay-Z was hating on him. Like around the time they was working together doing
that tour, best of both worlds.
Now like he tried to set him up. Like R. Kelly not no conspiracy theorist type person, even though he would say certain things, like certain shit go down that we hear about in conspiracy.
The Illuminati.
Yeah, he never addressed them as the Illuminati though.
He didn't.
No, but as far as this,
he just said it was a world that people were dealing with inside of entertainment.
Yeah, and that's,
you see what I'm saying?
I think that's obvious. You know, I think Farrakhan pinpointed it way back when he said the satanic Jews. Now I'm not Kanye crazy. I was gonna bring my black KKK.
No. You got one?
You have one?
Pimp, I don't think Pimpin' Ken with it because he think that shit crazy. You know what I mean? He'd have been like, you ain't finna do no weird shit on my time. So it's like, okay, I ain't gonna bring it.
So you understand Kanye?
Absolutely.
Why?
Now look, don't get me wrong. The recent shit he said about sucking somebody's dick. Now
that's weird.
That bothered me. You know what I mean?
but
everything else didn't bother me. It's like I know what he doing and it's working. But when he said that, it's like, come on, bro, you still gotta have real niggas to be able to go to bat for you and you know what I'm saying, stand by your side. Like how we gonna stand by your side now? You know what I mean? Like,
so you was down with the wearing the swastika. Was he trying to depower it, defame it? Is that what it was?
No, look, and that's another thing. I read Hitler's whole book when I was in the feds, right? And if you read it, the type of person you is, you not gonna look at Hitler the way that they painted him, and then you're gonna see why he was painted that way, because it was a war, like not just with weapons and shit like that, but it was a media war. Like the Jews was trying to make him and his people look like the worst people in the world, and they was on him doing it before he did that to them. They was doing it to him and his people. So then he's saying, okay, this is how we got a war. So I gotta let the world know that these Jews, some fucked up people then. You know what I mean?
It was a war.
So yeah. So and that media war still going on today. Like the way black people is painted, the way people like me painted, like I got probably the most pure, loving hearts in this world. But people, like most white people, if they see me, they see this nigga got tattoos on his face and he look like a thug. Let us get away from him. No, I'll probably embrace you. I'll probably help you if somebody else try to do something to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Can't judge a book by the cover, man, at all.
But that's because of this media war. Like,
wow,
we portrayed to be the worst of the worst right now to this day. And then like music is so affectionate. Like this shit go back to voodoo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like witchcraft.
Yeah.
Like the instruments and the music, like the bass, we got 7 energy centers known in our body. Like you got a bass chakra, like the bass in the music, it activates that, and then the other instruments, activate other energy centers, and then the words is how you be subconsciously programmed. So like, I could resonate with Lil Durk. I could feel his pain. I done seen some of my people get killed. You know what I'm saying? My close people.
Yeah.
He saw that. So when you express that pain and that anger and frustration in your music, then you not knowing that you programming millions of other black youth to think a certain way and want to express that same pain and want to be able to kill somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now the execs, they know what's going on, so that's what they want. They want us to kill each other. They want us to feel a certain way about each other, and that's where the.
Do you think Diddy? How does Diddy come out in this with this trial thing? And 2 months from now, what happens?
Well, despite the way I feel personally about Diddy, I reached out to him recently because I do want him to win. Because even though, and look, shout out to Natanya Rubin, he shot this lady in the face in '99, and she become like a sister to me. So I don't want her to be mad at me, but yes, I reached out to Diddy and tried to get him an understanding of the law. Like, I have a girlfriend who a lawyer, you know what I mean? Like, and she respect my jurisprudence, my level of legal expertise, because I really do this. So it's like, bro, the first thing you got to do, I reached out to him before the jury, all that stuff. I'm letting them know, like, that's going to be the main factor in your case, because you got to select people from the public who got a 90% chance of already looking at you like you a creep, you guilty.
That's right.
So that's the main factor. Once you get that together, then you got a chance. Wow. You know what I mean? But I just, my thing is, I know what's really going on. Like, they been knew Diddy was doing this shit for 30 years, and they was supporting it, and a lot of them was there doing it with him. But the minute he become a billionaire and sue $1 billion corporation and win,
that's right.
Now they want him to be held accountable for, certain things. You know what I mean?
Did Jay-Z, when you think about Jay-Z and when the 13-year-old girl accused him of what she accused him of, or she was grown, but she said it happened when she was 13, and then he got off of that, Roger Goodell, everybody spoke up for him. What did that do for Diddy? Did that hurt Diddy's possibilities in this case, or did it help him?
I think it helped him. Like, I think Jay-Z definitely did that just based on talks that me and R. Kelly had, and I was even accused, me and Jaguar Wright was both accused of orchestrating that. They said that we knew this the lady who was supposed to be 13 at the time, and that we supposed to
accused
had her say that.
Authority.
That's what Jay-Z lawyer, what's dude name, Alex Spiro?
Yeah.
He supposed to send out the cease and desist to. I talked about this on a recent podcast with Sean Kelly. He
okay.
He huge in a different like.
Is that the white guy?
One of the white guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we talked about that, and he the first one to receive the cease and desist, and we were supposed to do an interview back then, and that's why we didn't do it, because he like, bro, you can't even talk about what I want to interview you about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think he did it. But when you got a certain amount of money and you got certain people in your corner, you know what I mean? Like, even though he probably pissed off a lot of people, he obviously still got the NFL in his pocket. Like, them people super rich, and the people they connected to super rich. So it's like, don't worry about it, bro. We ain't gonna do you how we normally would have did.
But did that help Sean's case, Diddy's case?
Yeah, because it showed like
his vulnerabilities.
Yeah,
I thought that too. I was like, man, Diddy, because Diddy's case is it's everybody knows it. I don't see who they could pick in a jury trial to say, you can't be biased. Have you seen the video?
Absolutely.
Everybody's seen it.
That's what
so
I was
it's
trying
like
to explain.
you was trying to let him know that. They say he got nervous the first day and he had to go to the restroom. Shit, I don't blame him, because I remember I was nervous when they picking that jury. Listen, man, when they picking that jury, and you sitting there and you know these people got your life in their hands, That's a whole different ball game, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. It's nothing to play with. That's why I say prosecutors don't go in there to lose, bro. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you done. If you go in there with a prosecutor and a judge that's working for the state, they not for the play. Or for the United States, they not for the play, bro.
And that's the thing. Like, my nephew got a murder case right now, right? And he did the stupidest thing he could have did, which is instead of picking a jury, he picked a bench. So instead of leaving it up to 12 strangers, you leave it up to the judge.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
And he ain't, like, I'm mad at him to this day because it's like, bro, why you just didn't listen to me? You done seen me go through this shit.
They threw the book at him, didn't they?
Yeah, but yeah, that's why that's one of the main aspects of all that, because it's like these people got to determine if you guilty or not. You know what I mean? And
yeah, that's crazy, man. He just picked a judge to be tried by judge.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't see how he could do that. I could never do that.
His lawyer, but the point is that
his lawyer convinced him that was the way to go.
His lawyer wasn't no paid attorney, and the thing is, if you can convince somebody not to select a jury, then you save the state or the government all this money in trial.
And it's not as flexible. It's not fair. Because I just told you that judge and the DA, once you pick that jury trial, that jury, they still going to be in there giving it to them. They're going to be the eyes and the way their body posture is and just going through what they're going through. It's a whole different ball game. And that's why I know when you go up in there, you better have your mind set on, man, I could lose my life today. Everything could be over in a matter of minutes, and I'm gonna have to fight my way for the next 2 years trying to get back to appeal and all. You know what I mean? Trying to appeal this court case and trying to get out of here, and that might not work. Then I might just be stuck in here. And that's crazy. Except for if you get a pardon, and he could get a pardon because you know him and Trump cool anyway. Just being honest with you, people don't think about this stuff.
But he got to get found guilty to get a pardon.
He got to get found guilty to get a pardon. All of these are scenarios, man. So what was one of the thing when you see, like, now you hear the story R. Kelly singing in there? I love the songs, to be honest with you. I'd be like waiting to hear like somebody else they called him, he's singing. You know, did he sing when you was in there with him?
Man, that's all. Like, people would think like he was just so depressed. Like, I can only speak on the time
when you was with him. Yeah,
like he kept his spirits up. You know what I'm saying? He not just a talented singer. Like, the man voice out of control. Like, it's no instruments or mics and stuff. That's like right. That. This coming from his vocal cords, and it just sound like it sound on a record. That's right. Not just that, but he could be a comedian too if he want to. Oh, he got that comedy thing going. Yeah, he kept everybody like laughing. And then the COs was like, you would think they'd look at him how Surviving R. Kelly want people to look at him, but one CO, I swear to God, bro, on my dead brother, one time the man got done singing. A CO said this in front of other COs and inmates and everything. She said, boy, you finna make me go put some money on your books. Wow. Swear to God, bro. She liked the way he sang and how he was, didn't she? Yeah. Man, he talented, bro. He very talented. I want to ask you about your brother now that you brought that. I wanted to dissect how did that happen.
And how old was he?
He was 32.
So that was that wasn't long ago. Yeah, that's a deep story too, bro, because like, trust me, I'm not no conspiracy theorist. I've been through shit and I speak on facts, but I was going through something with the feds at the time, and they was already threatening to kill me and my family. Wow. And he got killed around that time, and don't nobody know who did this. And like, the feds, my case so crazy, bro. Like, if you look my shit up, and I hope you do, you know what I mean? Like, they did so much wrong, and then like when I first they indicted me after I sued them. You know you like, did sue them. Why would y'all for $10 million? Yeah. So it's like, why would y'all wait till I sue y'all to indict me? Y'all been harassing me for all these years, but 2 weeks after I sue y'all, now I got an indictment. That's so malicious prosecution. You know what I mean? But even all this stuff, like I'm telling
what's going on with these people in my lawsuits and stuff. Everybody think I'm lying. They don't think the feds get down like that. They the dirtiest people, and they feel like they can get away with anything, and they know that when they do stuff to people like me and you, bro, nobody gonna believe us, bro.
No.
Like, even if our girl or, like, nigga, my mama didn't believe me. You know what I mean? So, like, that's why they know they could get away with it. But yeah, that's what I think happened. And
So when did you hear about it? You was locked up when you heard about
no, I was out. It happened a week after I made news for a lawsuit before I sued the feds. I sued the Milwaukee police. And then they do this to my brother.
Wow.
But that's another point that we probably should get at, because I heard you mention somebody named Whack 100.
it? Yeah.
And it's people like him, like, they could convince the public that they plugged in and shit, but they own people who really tied in with these mobs, do not like them or do not respect them. And people know that people like Whack 100, even Big U, like, them niggas was all informants, man. They was all working for the feds. And they let people like this work for them and get away with stuff, because this how they keep control of the real ones, people like me and you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they knew what the fuck Big U
crazy.
been doing.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't getting away with that check-in shit that long if you not tied in with them, and people was already exposing that he working with them. You know, so when people say the government has something to do with Nipsey Hussle, then they find out a Crip did it. These same Crips, they tied into the government as informants. So yes, the government still has something to do with it.
Wow.
You know what I
Then
mean?
why they went and picked him up the other day? For the,
Who, Big U?
Yeah.
Because it only runs so long. The time runs out where the bargaining chip has to be turned. If they don't feel like they can get nothing else out of it, just like the movies you watch, I think they turn against you at some point.
And then
So
when
he's
the
no
public-
use to them anymore.
Not just that, but that's one of the main factors. The other thing is when the community start pointing a finger at them, your informants, now it's like, okay, these people got handlers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not tied in with the whole government. You tied in with this one federal agent who got control of your ass. But these other agents gonna look like, you gotta do something about dude, man. They saying he killed this person and
That's
they
right.
did this. Like, you can't keep letting them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta move with, or we gonna look back.
There you go. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'm just, man, the way that you look at things, even, I mean, we got people here, Yella, murder for hire, that charged him with. You got Lil Durk, murder for hire. You know, these cases, man, are steadily, they popping up. They 5 years, that Mo3 case was 5 years old. He had died 5 years ago, then all of a sudden it resurfaces.
But that, like, this internet shit go a long way, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this shit so conniving, and a lot of, like, I could tell if Pimpin' Ken fuck with you how he fuck with you, I could tell you a real one. But a lot of these podcasters, back to Whack 100, Adam 22, Vlad, these motherfuckers is government informers, bro.
You better say
and
it.
They be basically interrogating these goofy ass rappers on
their
their platform.
show. Yeah.
Like, this the same type of shit somebody asks you in the interrogation room. You
And
know what
our
I'm saying?
people just run into him. That's what threw me off. I was so frustrated with that. Me and Kim were talking about that 2 years ago. How all our people just running up to these platforms, and they wouldn't even come to their own people's platform. And it's like, why?
See, they know
Money.
certain people could. There we go. Certain
Money.
people could be bought. Like my situation. I don't know if you looked into my situation with Sean Atwood. I was doing a lot of business with them.
Yeah,
Most of my
yeah.
interviews was on their show.
Yeah, I
Now,
seen that.
I fell out with them and exposed them as Ku Klux, Aryan Nation members.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And Sean Atwood admitted he was an Aryan Nation member in the past interview, but he said he ain't no more. Like, come on, bro. Like, I know how this shit go. You can convince your audience that, but I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they tried to buy me. They break down the numbers like this. They say, look, we got like 1 million subscribers. We can create you a channel. We can almost guarantee you gonna at least attract 2,000 subscribers just off our subscribers.
Yeah.
And we're gonna charge them $8 a month, so that's $16,000 a month for you. You know what I'm saying? All we want you to do is keep the content going and talk about this and that. You know what they wanted me to do? That's why I reached out to Diddy. Like, I don't like him either, but it's not about how I feel about him as a person.
That's right.
I want to win for the culture against this system. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But they wanted me to talk bad about Jay-Z and R. Kelly and Diddy and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that's not what I'm about. I'm not finna base my content off tearing down no other black man, no matter what the fuck they did, because I want to point the figures at the slave masters behind them. They got them doing certain things.
That's right. And that's the whole game. To be able to, that's what black media is supposed to be here for, to give us a fighting chance. You understand that? That's why me and my wife sit here, to be honest with you, because I know that we can it became a ministry for me, to be honest with you, a healing situation where people could sit here and talk about their life and it be looked upon where another brother could see it, and then it can help him. Your story can help somebody else. Just like you said, being 11 years old and being in Milwaukee and being in them streets, you can go back and speak to a 13, 14-year-old and know exactly what they're going through. When you sitting on this panel, you've been in prison. I've been through situations. My wife been through situations. Ken been through situations. All of the 5,000 people we've dealt with, the blind goddess, all these different people that been on my show, it's been testimony after testimony, and that's what give me the feedback. People be like, man, some people be like, man, this was messy, but Boss Talk don't be doing it like that. Some people say, no, they do. And you're going to get your ones who going to say whatever. But the main thing is that the testimony is being spoken, right? Yeah. Everything we spoke on today, the godly points, the point where you studied Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, being able to speak with Muslims because others can't because they didn't study enough. Stuff like that is powerful, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people see this part and it gets them, be like, man, I watched that Boss Talk. It was deep, you know. But then you got others that are looking for something else. And so it appeals to whatever, it turns itself to whichever way a person want to receive it, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is black media has an opportunity for us to be able to tell our story in our own way. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it don't have to always be bad. It is going to be some bad, but it's going to be a lot of good. All that stuff mixed up, and then the stuff that's, I'm not with it, I am with it, it puts it in a place where it becomes a realization. Mm-hmm. All stories going to have all different types, parts. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a pretty picture the whole time. Am I right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, you got to paint the picture for what it is, man. I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lie on nobody. I want people to see this thing for what it really is. But the main thing is to be taken serious when you sit in that seat. That's my most important thing. So when a person watch Boss Talk, they get to look at you and be like, man, I watched it run Bo, man, that thing was serious, because it's a serious situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. So I like Ken, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't invite everybody to my show. You'll be amazed at the people I didn't let come on here. Cause I never charged nobody for an interview. But see, you see what I'm saying?
What I don't
never
like
done
about
that.
Pimpin' Ken though, he like Jay-Z, right? So he be telling me, bro, leave Jay-Z out of that shit. Like, I be thinking like, bro, you basically told me before in so many words Jay-Z was a hoe ass nigga, because you said he was acting funny with you back in '99 when he came and did the concert. And then y'all talked, and then he still showed that he felt some type of way about how you came at him back then. And then look, we drove here from Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing most of the driving. I'm trying to play, it's an artist named Chicken P from Milwaukee. Like, I'm playing his shit. This nigga started playing all Jay-Z shit from old to new. So I'm sitting there like, bro, is you really finna, you wanna argue, big bro? Like,
I would be honest with you, couldn't do that with me, because I'm a Pimp C fanatic. I'm a Southern boy, so I'm listening at Scarface, I'm listening at Bun B, I'm listening, everything I listen to is Pimp, Bun, Scarface, Kiki, Big Mike, Lil Kiki, Slim Thug. I'm thrown off, you know what I'm saying? Yella, Mo 3, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to that Do or Die. You know, I'm gonna go all the way. That's how I'm gonna roll with it. That's just who I am. But when it comes to J and them in the East Coast, I'm not big on that, except for I jump J and them. I go to EPMD. I go to the Patriarchs. I go to Boogie Down Production. I go to Special Ed, D Nice. You know, my boy Eric B and Rakim.
You listen to Nas, don't you?
So not really Nas. Nas okay. But I'm talking about the ones who started it, man. I'm talking about Run DMC, Jam Master J, LL Cool J, you know, Curtis Blow. You know what I mean?
Be honest, though,
so I go back to the first.
Yeah.
I don't go to that. You know what I'm saying? I listen to the stuff. Don't get me wrong, Fat Joe and them, they had a run. I'm a Jadakiss fan before Nas. You know that. That's why his picture on the wall. Yeah. Because I rock with Jada. But other than that, that's how I'm at with it. I'm back south. I'm from where I'm from, bro. Yeah, we talk like this, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I like. I don't know if you fuck with DSR and Big Tuck now back.
No, that's my boy. Yeah, no, that's my partner. Like Big Tuck.
I fuck with the. That's why.
You ride with it?
I fuck with y'all culture. Like,
yeah.
That was underground. So for
sure. But how did you find out about Big Tuck?
Man, they was doing their thing.
Man, it's the big Tuck. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of his shit by heart.
Really?
But what's so crazy?
Southside the realest?
Drug dealers, killers.
That's my boy. That's my partner, you know, like, that's different. You know?
I love to meet him. But what's so crazy, though, bro, I don't want to admit it because what I know about dude now, but I used to be a huge Jay-Z fan.
Really?
So all the shit he was playing, I'm getting mad, but I'm actually playing it and liking it in my head.
Because you used to listen to it.
Yeah. So,
but after you really found out how you felt, what had happened, and the insight of all the stuff that had happened, it started to mess with you, and you like, I can't rock with that.
The main reason why is because I know that Jay-Z is the most powerful black man in the world, and he could do a lot for our culture. You know, he could unite our people, not just nationwide, but internationally. Because
I agree with that.
He's iconic right now. You know what I mean? This man done sat with the Queen of England and shit like that. But it's like with you having that much power and you seeing these problems, because you've been through it. Like, I had a long talk with his best friend, DeHaven.
That's my boy. He been on here a lot of times.
I've seen him on here.
This is it.
We had a long talk, and he gave me some insight that made me look at Jay-Z a certain way too. So it's like, bro, you know, you smart as fuck. You not just the most powerful black man in the world. You probably one of the smartest, if not the smartest. So you know what's going on in our culture. You know what they doing to us. You know what need to be done. And you know you got the power to do it. So because you ain't doing it and ain't trying, then it's fuck you. You know what I mean? The whole culture should feel that way.
But why do you think he's not doing it? Do you not think that there are other powers, not of our culture, that might be influencing not to make those moves?
It's the same reason why I explained the KKK people, Sean Atwood and them, they tried to buy me out, but I told them no, because this is what I stand for. Like, that was just me. It's probably a few other people who would have did that. But Jay-Z in the position that he in, he not gonna sacrifice that for us.
Boy, you sure hit it on the nail. You hit it on the nail. And even, it goes so far back with me as even when Dolph was alive. And I stood in here and talked about that. I said, man, if Jay said something, you remember me saying that? Mm-hmm. I said, if Jay or somebody would say something to them, they would even stop. That man will still be alive to me, bro. I was saying this 5 years ago, but when he got shot in L.A., I was mad about that because I know Jay-Z has the influence to stop any of that.
You know that.
Diddy had them coming together and saying, people coming together and saying something to me would have made a change. And I said it. I took it down, but
that's just a small aspect.
That's a small aspect, but he could still be here today. I'm being real. If our people would just unite and say something, the ones who was running the hip hop game, we know used to, it was a thing where people would do a We Are the World and all that and come together. They don't do that no more, man. And a lot of lives been lost because of us, our leaders, not just Jay-Z either. So all of them that's in position that has gotten the bag, Kanye included, all of them could have came together and stopped a lot of the deaths and stuff that happen in hip hop. I believe that.
Yeah,
I really do. And it's just because of the money and people not wanting to, they being so, what would you call it? They being so, territorial with their funds and thinking somebody gonna get this and who gonna run that they don't even come together. And our people just continue to die.
Yeah. You hit it. You hit it right on. You know what I mean? But
what can we do? We don't. But We got podcasts now. We start with this. You know what I'm saying? We got HHF. We got you. You know what I'm saying? Running both. We finna try to switch it up and help people.
Yeah. And I've been running a nice campaign myself. Like one of them interviews you watch, it did like 1 million views.
Yeah.
I gave my personal phone number out.
Wow.
Because they keep taking my pages. Like they shadow ban me. The white dude from Digital Social Hour, my guy Sean Kelly, he explained, like he one of those tech nerds. He know they could do that, and he was explaining to me, even on his show, like yeah, they could ban your face. It ain't even got to be your name. So they keep taking my Facebooks, Instagrams, all that. So it's like I come from the street. This is how I stay connected with my people. I'm gonna give y'all my phone number. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give it out
right now.
You know
Let's hear it. We're about to shut it down. Let's go.
Anybody who want to call me for any reason, like if it's just to get a free book, I'm giving everybody who free book to call. But I can't say for any reason because I do got a girlfriend now. When I first gave the number, I didn't have a girlfriend, but now things have changed. But any other reason, it's 414-587-1919. That's 414-587-1919.
I'm gonna put that in my phone, man, because like I said, I love your energy, bro. I thank God for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And man, Ken told me, he was like, man, I'm bringing Running Boat, and I always fuss at him, man. Ain't gonna lie, be like, man, why you always be bringing people, man? I'm me fussing. Yeah. I don't want to interview you. I want to do you. And he always said, no, you gonna like. He forced me, don't he? He forced me to get to know the people because I'm so, just trying to make sure I keep the right energy around me. And I interview everybody, but I pick and choose. That's why I don't charge, and I don't, what I'm saying, I don't take money. Mm-hmm. I just pick who I want to pick and just try to bless who I can bless. And I got to get better at letting Ken do what he doing because he brought me a good one in you today, Ronnie. Thank you for coming on the show, man. We love you, bro. And if you ever need me for anything, I'm giving you my number. You call me, bro, and watch. You gonna be like, that nigga 100, man. Yeah.
I know, but real ones don't like. We like to be self-reliant. But
I
appreciate
you. You can always call me though. And like I said, I travel a lot. I'm coming up there now. You got to help me because I want to come to Milwaukee and do my show up there because I'll be going places. You know what I'm saying?
In the city, it's a lot of talent there. I could refer to.
I be picking the one been in prison and stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones who been through stuff.
All my people.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And then I be picking some of the artists and then some of the speakers and stuff like that.
If you my people and you ain't been to prison, I think you the police.
Shout out to Ronnie, man. Thank you for coming on the show. How can people... Go ahead.
So, with all that you've been through, a kid out here, 11, 12, you see him and you have the chance to talk to him and you see him going down the same path that you're going down, that you went down. What can you say to him or to encourage him to not make the same mistakes you have? You
speaking on somebody in general or just
in general?
Man, just look, I'm going to tell y'all like I tell my son. I got a 16-year-old son.
Wow.
Like
17-year-old.
If my son seen how many times I've been to jail, he's seen all the shit I've been through. Like, if you want to go through that fire, go ahead. Sell that dope. You know what I mean? Shoot that gun. You probably can't do a day, but you want to kill somebody, go ahead. You going to do life. It's a good chance. You know what I mean? So if that's what you want to go through it. I'm telling you, though, you do not want to go through it. Like, I had to learn the hard way. I do not want nobody else, especially my youth. Like, I love my youth. Like, some people like these, I don't respect an OG who look down on the young, like see them doing good and hate that. Like, I love that, I embrace that, but I want them to do the right thing with their money because I didn't do the right thing with my money. Like, I'm thinking like all the money I'm making as a teenager, bro, I could have had a real estate empire or something right now. You know what I mean? I could have built wealth, but I didn't have no guidance. So if y'all don't think y'all got no guidance, come to me. Call that number. Like, I'm here for y'all. Like, that's what God put me here for.
Man, that's hard. I like that, man. That's dope, man. Thank you so much, man, again. Man, like I said, top 3 artists of all time, dead or alive, any genre. Top 3 artists. Tupac. There he is right there.
Man, I don't even want to say.
Number 2.
we talking about rappers?
We talking about any genre.
Any genre.
You said Tupac, who else? And they change.
If you talking about any genre,
Any
you know
genre.
I got to bring Kells in there.
I knew that was gonna be number
He
2.
done roll for Mike. I could have said Mike, but he done roll for Mike. You know what I mean?
Hey, who's
So
your
shout
number?
out to R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, number 3.
Probably me.
Oh, that's hard.
No, for real though. Like some people say they cold. I don't even say that. I just believe in myself. But I know. I've been locked up so much. I haven't. Like I done had success. I done been on the top 40 charts. I've been in the
I need
Source
to know what
magazine.
music, so I can stream your music.
Yeah,
You need to. Yeah, I should have knew
But
that.
I've been more into, like, to be honest, when I became so conscious, bro, I didn't like putting out the type of music that I was putting out because I knew what I was doing to my people.
That's
So
right.
it's like, damn, I got to find, even knowing I was the most lyrical person I could think of, for real. But it's like, I can't put that shit out because I know it's going against what I stand for. I'm supposed to be trying to influence them not to do this shit, and I know the music gonna make them want to do it.
Is
so.
it Running Boat that I stream it on?
Yeah, right.
We gon' I'm gonna put
But
that up
then-
as soon as I jump in that Escalade.
But then
baby.
you should put. So you changed the way of what you were rapping about? You were doing more
I was
conscious after
trying
that?
to, but then it sounded
It-
so fucking corny. Like, no, and I knew that myself. I'm like, I can't put this shit out because people used to me. They used to that Jeezy feeling like real street, like we know he been through this. You know what I mean? But it's like now this nigga sound like fucking Common or
Chance the Rapper.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like no, I couldn't find myself no more. So it's like I gotta find it. Like Pac was great at that.
Oh, he was
like, bro,
cold.
he knew how to capture his people and give them real shit, but still, you know what I'm
Make it
saying?
sound like you want it. You know what I'm saying? That's man, Pac, man. Shout out,
That's why
man.
he number
R.I.P.
one.
That's why he number 1.
Because when you were talking about the vibrations in the music and how it's feeding our people with the words and stuff like that and what it can do to people, I thought about that. Did you watch that new movie, Sinners?
That's crazy. See what I told you about. I wrote it. If you read my book from like 13 years ago, I wrote about it then. But my girlfriend, who I just mentioned, a lawyer, cause she wanted to go to the movies. Yeah, I'm thinking she wanted me to watch like some weird white people shit. But when I saw it and it was so profound, I'm like, this is really my soulmate. You know what I mean? Like this shit
That's
explaining
right.
shit I wrote about 13 years ago in my book. You know? What I mean?
Wow.
So it talked exactly about, because that's what it reminded me of when you were talking about the music. It was that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, and that movie, man, people won't realize how deep that movie is, and they not in my pockets. But if you can understand the messages in that movie, like what I was saying about the music, that's exactly. And these satanic people, bro, these people, just how you get high off cocaine and heroin and shit, bro, they get high off human blood, for real.
Wow.
They sacrifice people and drink the blood and the adrenochrome and that shit, like it get them like a adrenaline like out of this world, and the blood that they want the most is from children. You know what I'm saying? Children in fear, because the fear it sparks something in their anatomy, bro, that makes them feel like superhuman.
Wow.
So you feel like when you hear people talk about artists, I see where when artists coming up and then all of a sudden somebody close to them passes away, and then all of a sudden their career booms. You hear people say, "Oh, they sacrificed that person. That's the reason why."
No, that
So you
shit
believe
be-
in that stuff.
Man, that shit be real, but I don't want to, because I don't want to sound like conspiracy theories, but the people I know, like I know people obviously who've been in the industry, they not gonna speak on it, because I don't get no fuck, bro. You know what I mean? Some people care about certain shit, and I could respect that, but R. Kelly obviously not the only person I knew from the industry or met, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm with somebody, you know what I mean, who been teaching me about the industry, you know what I mean? Like certain people not gonna speak on everything though, you know what I mean? But
Wow.
I will, but yeah, that shit go on.
Wow. Man, thank you so much, Ronnie, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you for coming through. I know you're going to be back. We're going to do this again and again and again. I'm coming to Milwaukee, though, next. Me and the wife coming up there. We're going to come up there and you're going to show us around. I'm going to make Ken come up there, too.
Hey,
All right?
Shout out to Boss Talk 101 for
Man.
sure, because like I never gave no interview like this, bro.
I know. It's
never
different.
open up like this.
It's
I
different.
don't open up. I don't even be liking people that be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I be on their channel trying to read them and peep them out because people be weird.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you better not ask me no stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for sharing with us, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, man. I felt the energy, and it's right, man. And keep doing that. Keep telling your story, man. Keep helping our youth, and keep helping the neighborhoods, man.
For sure.
Boss Talk 101, we love you. Where the bosses talk.